Welcome everybody, Rocky Top Traveler here. I'm in Hermitage, Tennessee at the Hermitage Memorial Gardens. We're going to walk around and find a few famous graves. So, here we go. So when you pull in to the Heritage Memorial Gardens, to the left, you'll see a big building and a little building. The little building is the mausoleum building, and that is where Joe Diffie is. So we're going to go inside and pay our respects to Joe Diffie. Alright, y'all. I apologize. I thought I'd get in, but unfortunately, where Joe Diffie is laid to rest, you cannot get in. You gotta have a code to get in, and I don't know the code. And I went inside and talked to the lady. She did confirm that he is in here. He was cremated, so his ashes and his urn are in here. But she did not know the code to get in. She says she only works Saturdays. And the man that could help me out, I believe he's busy right now because I think there's a funeral going on. So, but Joe Diffie, he is laid to rest in here in one of these I guess urn boxes. I don't know what you call them. But anyways, I will show pictures of that, of his urn, and of him, and kind of talk a little bit about his life. Joseph Logan Diffie, born December 28th, 1958, passed away on March 29th, 2020. He was an American singer, songwriter, and Grammy Award-winning country music star who gained popularity in the 1990s with songs like John Deere Green and Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox. Born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he worked blue-collar jobs after high school and played with a gospel group and a bluegrass band. After his first divorce, he moved to Nashville to pursue country music. He worked for Gibson Guitars and began recording demos, and then he signed with Epic Records in 1990 and released his debut album, 1,000 Winding Roads. His first single, Home, reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs charts, the Radio and Records charts, and the Gavin Report. He was the first country artist to have a single debut at number 1 on all 3 charts. His third album, Honky Tonk Attitude, achieved platinum status and featured 2 of his most popular songs, John Deere Green and Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox. His second consecutive platinum album, Third Rock from the Sun, was released in 1994, and in the early 2000s, he performed primarily in smaller venues. From 1990 to 2019, he released 12 albums and had 5 number 1 singles. In addition to writing his own music, he wrote songs that were recorded by Tim McGraw, Tracy Lawrence, Jody Messina, Mary Chapin Carpenter, George Jones, and Marty Stewart. He was named the Cashbox Male Vocalist of the Year in 1990, won the Academy of Country Music Awards Vocal Event of the Year for I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair in 1993, and received a Grammy Award for Best Country Collaboration with Vocals for Same Old Train with Marty Stewart in 1999. He was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry in 1993 and the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame in 2002. On March 27th of 2020, Joe D said that he had tested positive for COVID-19, and 2 days later, on March 29th of 2020, he passed away due to complications of COVID-19 at age 61. All right, so here's one for you, for all y'all pool sharks out there. It is a little bit windy. Here is Rudolph Walter Wondron Jr., also known as Minnesota Fats. He was born 1913, passed away in 1996, and his headstone reads, "Beat every living creature on earth." And then in quotation marks it says, "St. Peter, rack 'em up." It's got a little picture there of him. Got cue sticks and the billiards. Alright, so Minnesota Fats, he was a billiards player. He was also an entertainer, and he was best known by the name Minnesota Fats. That was a moniker that he chose after the character in the motion picture The Hustler. He was probably known as the best pool player in the United States, despite of the fact that he never won a single major pool tournament. He even went as far as to tell people that the character in the movie was based on him. The author of the book, The Hustler, denied that it was. So Minnesota Fats was born in New York in 1913. He started playing pool as a child and became a traveling pool hustler using the name Minnesota Fats. He gained enough attention to star in a TV show where he would play one of the best pool players in the country, Willie Mosconi. Mosconi beat Minnesota Fats soundly, and for a few years there were rematches on TV with Fats and Mosconi. Mosconi beat Minnesota Fats without much trouble. These proved to be popular with television audience and contributed greatly to his fame. The BCA inducted him into the Hall of Fame for recognition of his contributions to bringing popularity to the game of pool. And there he is. The resting place of Minnesota Fats. So kind of over there where the American flag is where Minnesota Fats is buried. You kind of walk over here a little bit and you will find the grave of the Texas troubadour, Ernest Tubb, and his wife. So big headstone there. top, it's got the last name Tubb. It says Ernest Dale Sr., born February 9th, 1914, passed away September 6, 1984. Cherished husband, daddy, and granddaddy. And then beside him is his wife, Oline Adams. She was born January 26, 1925, passed away December 26, 1997. Devoted wife, mama, and big mama. And then each one also has something that talks a little bit about them. This also has a list of his accomplishments. And then she also has something as well. I'm trying to stay out of it, keep my shadow out. But Ernest Tubb, he was a musician, a songwriter. He was a farm boy, born near Crisp, Texas. And it is crisp out here with that wind blowing as well. One of the big country music stars of the day during his time when he was little was Jimmie Rodgers. And Ernest aspired to be like him. He worked for the Works Progress Administration during the day and moonlighted at a San Antonio radio station by night. Several years after Rodgers' death, talking about Jimmie Rodgers, Ernest Tubb solicited an autograph picture from his widow. They got to know each other, and Mrs. Rodgers used her contacts to help Tubb get a recording contract. It says Tubb's voice changed dramatically after a surgery, after he had his tonsils removed. He then decided to concentrate on composing. Eventually, he returned to singing and had a hit with Walking the Floor Over You. He became a member of the Grand Ole Opry and performed on the show weekly for over 40 years. In addition, he broadcast his own radio show entitled Midnight Jamboree after the Opry show was over. Always a multitasker, he also owned the Ernest Tubb Record Shop down in Nashville, Tennessee, and unfortunately that shop is no more. Tubb was candid about his imperfections as a vocalist and didn't take it to heart when he occasionally missed a note. Even when recording, however, despite this, he retained a loyal group of fans throughout his career. A member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Tubb suffered from an emphysema for the last 17 years of his life, finally succumbing to the disease at age 70 in 1984. There it is, the Texas Troubadour, grave of Ernest Tubb. Now, behind him and his wife is a daughter of his, Oline Gail Tubb, born March 4th, 1952, passed away January 22nd, 2017. It says beloved daughter, sister, and mother. And then on this same row over here is his son, Justin Tubb. It says traveling singing man, born August 20th, 1935, passed away January 24th, 1998. Thanks for the memories. May you have eternal peace. And then his wife, Carolyn McPherson Tubb, born March 29th, 1941, passed away January 12th, 2013. Hearts joined together in life and in death. And then also over here, he has a grandson. This is Justin Tubb's son. Carrie Justin Tubb, born March 29th, 1970, passed away November 27th, 2008. And there's where Ernest Tubb and his wife are buried. You see my shadow. And Ernest Tubb, he had another son that passed away when he was just a month old, and he is buried in Texas. And if you come in the main big building, come inside and ask to come to the mausoleum on the left side, come all the way down to the doors here, and you'll find the resting place of Stephen Dahl, also known as Stephen Dunn. So, Stephen Dunn, he was a professional wrestler. He was billed from being from Portland, Oregon, but was actually from Hendersonville, Tennessee. So he began his wrestling training under the tutelage of retired wrestlers Rick and John Davison in 1984. His professional debut came in May of 1985 in a match with Dirty Dick Slater. From 1987 to 1992, he wrestled with the Pacific Northwest Wrestling, winning numerous singles and tag titles. In 1987, he formed a tag team with Scott Peterson, known as the Southern Rockers. After Scott Peterson left wrestling in 1989, Stephen Dunn was joined by Rex King. They were a tag team for over 10 years when they joined the World Wrestling Federation, now known as the World Wrestling Entertainment. In 1993, they changed their names to Stephen Dunn and Timothy Well, and the tag team was known as Well Done. After leaving the WWF, Stephen went to World Championship Wrestling, WCW, which is no longer no more. On May 27th in 1996, he was wrestling Mike Enos, aka the Mauler, when Scott Hall made his appearance, which was the start of the New World Order. Stephen Dunn went on to join the United States Wrestling Association. He was the last Southern heavyweight champion. He held titles over 30 tag team Stephen held over 30 tag team championships and various partners over 3 world heavyweight championships. On May 19, 2006, he suffered from a seizure due to an intestinal blockage, which caused his kidneys to fail. He was put on life support and then taken off of life support on March 22nd, 2009. Yep, Stephen Dunn, professional wrestler. And right there with the blue wreath that says Merry Christmas on it, I know it's kind of hard to tell. That is the grave of Bobby Hamilton. On the grave it says Charles R. Hamilton, born May 29th, 1956, passed away January 7th, 2007. So he was a NASCAR driver, born in Nashville, Tennessee. At the age of 13, he began his racing career at the Nashville Speedway, racing on the weekly circuit at the track, where he went to win the track championship in 1987. He joined the NASCAR ranks, racing in the Busch Series in North Carolina in 1988, and made his debut in the Winston Cup in 1990. That same year, he was asked to drive a stunt car for the motion picture Days of Thunder. In 1991, he was the Winston Cup Rookie of the Year and won the Winston Cup Series in 1996. His biggest success came as a driver and owner in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, where he won the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Championship in 2004. He died of cancer at age 49 in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Yep, for all you NASCAR fans out there, especially during the Winston Cup years, it's the grave of Bobby Hamilton. Douglas Allen Woody Jr. Born October 3rd, 1955. Passed away August 25th, 2000. So some of y'all may know who he is. He was a musician. He was the former bassist for the Allman Brothers Band and founder of the power trio Government Mule. Woody, who went by his middle name, Allen, played in bands with members of Lynyrd Skynyrd before joining the Allman Brothers. The musician was 44 years old at the time of his death. Talking about Douglas Woody Jr. here. He was inspired to start learning the bass at 14 by Paul McCartney's work with the Beatles. Though he cited influences like Hot Tuna, Jefferson Aeroplane, blues, country, and golden oldies. In a 1995 interview, Woody reminisced about hearing the Allman Brothers Band for the first time as a 14 or 15-year-old wild child, never suspecting that one day he would be instrumental in the famed Southern band's comeback success. Woody he pursued music seriously as a student while attending Middle Tennessee State University, where he became a proficient in a number of genres and on a variety of stringed instruments. He was known for his custom-made instruments and his versatility, his work incorporating a double-neck combination guitar and mandolin and a sitar-like bass he designed and handmade to the order in the 1990s. He paid his dues in early careers working as a salesman at Grun Guitars in his hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, meeting many prominent musicians from the rock to country music industry. In the 1980s, he joined the Artemis Pyle Band, formed by the former drummer of Lynyrd Skynyrd. The Southern rock community being a close one, especially as interest in roots music ebbed during the New Wave invasion. Woody was introduced to Pyle to butch tracks of the Allman Brothers Band. Said with Greg Allman's blessing, Woody and Haynes started their own band, originally a side project which they named Government Mule, a phrase Woody attributed to a conversation he had with Allman Brothers drummer Johnny Johansson. On August 26 of 2000, Douglas Allen Woody Jr. would pass away due to overdose of heroin. He died in the Courtyard Marriott Hotel in Queens, New York. Said they had been scheduled on a flight back to Nashville that morning that he was found dead. There's the main funeral home office building there. The cemetery, it's not a huge cemetery, but it's not a small one either. But that's going to do it though for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Seeing some famous graves. Please like and subscribe. Share this video out. All these things are free to do. Hit that notification bell so you know when I put new content out. And again, I really do appreciate all the views, the likes, the comments. All right, and until next time, guys, I will see y'all real soon. Thank you. Good night.